Good morning, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to take a quick minute to jump on here. The more work that I've been doing personally, the more I realize what has kept me stuck. And one of the things that I'm noticing more and more every day is that I understood the principles, the concepts, all of those wonderful things that people hand down to you, take a breath, slow down, da 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 da. Everybody has all this great advice, but then when you look at them and say, how? How do I do that? Not many people have a solution because they're just giving advice. They really don't know. They just are patting you on your head and trying to make you feel better so that you'll go on so they can feel better. They don't know the how. And unfortunately, I think that's why we've all been through so much trauma. The grown-ups before us didn't know how. We raised our children not necessarily knowing how. And as we all walk through our lifelong journeys, I think that with maturity and slowing down and discipline and some of the things that come with age, we begin to recognize the how. It's not that anybody's going to show up and hand it to us. And when I think about Jesus and how he taught, he didn't give us the answers. He gave us something that we could analyze and find the answers for ourselves. And I really think that that's what life's about. And I think as we discover our own answers, it's really nice for us to share those with other people. Not necessarily because those answers are going to be exactly the same for them, but as they start to explore some of these concepts, they will find the answers that are right for them. And so I am going to loosely suggest some things that have been really helpful for me. And I want to encourage you to see if you can find a way to make them work for you. Maybe the way they work for me doesn't work for you. Maybe they don't work for you at all. And that's okay. Knowing what doesn't work makes the list of what might work a little shorter. It's always realizing that every day is a new lesson. It's a new day at the school of life. And we're never going to know it all. We're never going to have it all figured out. But if we can begin to slow down and pay attention and know that we're always learning and be in a learner's mindset with an open mind, ready to take on new information, that can make all the difference in the world. And so here are just a few suggestions in the idea of beginning to slow down. So one of my favorite things to say used to be, I don't have time for that. So I want you to notice first, how are you adamantly proclaiming that that thing is already not going to work because you don't have time, you don't have energy, you don't know how? What are our excuses? And can we begin to get those out of the way? Because those are our worst enemy. I don't have time. Well, I bet you have 1 minute to pay attention to your breath. 1 minute. Start with 1 minute once a day. Maybe start first thing in the morning. Notice while you're making your coffee or, while the pot's brewing. Take a minute and breathe. What are you doing? Standing there watching the coffee make? Breathe. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Get the brain regulated. Let it know we're not starting the day off in survival mode. We're good. Drink water. Drink water. If you want to drink other stuff too, fine. Is it great for you? Not really. But make sure you're getting enough water. Water not only restores, but it also cleanses. And without the proper amount of water, your body chemistry is not working the way that it is supposed to. And you are not going to feel your best. And you're not going to do your best. do the best you can. Some people hate to drink water. I used to be one of those people. Water is almost the only thing I drink now, because the more I drank of it, the better I felt. The better I felt, the more I drank, and it just became a habit. And that's really how most things work. If you do the thing and it feels better, you're going to want to keep doing the thing. And the more you do the thing, the easier it becomes to do. Soon it's a habit, and you don't even have to think about it. Third, rest. Rest. I don't have time. Start deciding what needs to be done, and understand that rest is one of those things. Make time. I guarantee almost half of your to-do list is unnecessary. And it may not be that it doesn't ever need to get done, but maybe it doesn't need to get done today. Is that procrastination? Be careful. It could be. But always ask, if I do this task today, what are the chances that I'm going to have the best outcome? If I were to put it off till tomorrow, what might the outcome be? If I put it off till next week, if I do it right this second, or I do it when it's scheduled, am I going to get the result I'm hoping for? Is that possible? Sometimes we're going to make the right choice, sometimes we're not. The point is to learn. I should have waited till tomorrow. Next time I'll be more aware of that. I should have did that yesterday. Next time I'll remember how this worked out. When we get into the shame of blame and regret and all of that stuff, we can't think about how we could have done it better and how we will do it better. Instead, we stay stuck on how we didn't do it better, and how because we didn't do it right that time, probably not going to do it right the next time. And when you put that energy around something, you're just not going to get very far very fast. And so I'm going to leave you with those 3 very simple things to start. And I'm going to do my best this week to continue to find those small things and to check in and just note those things and maybe do some reflecting. I think that just sort of having someone else around that's investing in the same things we're investing in, even if our journey doesn't look anything alike, it's just kind of nice to know somebody else is doing this work. I'm not alone, and it can be done. And maybe my work looks different, but it doesn't make it impossible. It just means that I need to focus my energy on what is mine and simply be supported by the fact that others are doing the same. And then just being able to sometimes reflect on how our day went, or, not necessarily looking for advice, but just wanting to share information and hold space for one another. There's a number 4. Instead of calling your friends and complaining about the day, how can you reflect together to build a better day tomorrow? Oftentimes we will have a bad day and we will get home and we will start calling people and start texting and start posting on Facebook. What a horrible day it was. How is that productive? What could we do instead? And that doesn't mean that we can't point out what we didn't like about the day. But do you have a solution or just a complaint? I know for me, I had some really shitty days last week. And at the end of those days, I sat down and I wrote down what went shitty, what I did when it went shitty, how I felt about that, how the way that I felt and reacted created an energy in the environment that others are now affected by. How does that affect me? And what do I want to do different next time when the day's shitty? How can I react differently? How can I step away and take a breath and change perspective? How can I notice how I'm infecting, sometimes infecting the environment around me with things that aren't even real, things that are my triggers or that are personally mine. And I'm just sort of letting them affect everyone because I'm not paying attention and I'm not taking accountability. And so there's another great focus, accountability. You know, little things, paying attention in the present moment, taking some notes. What went well? What didn't? Let's just keep taking it one day at a time. Let's notice. Let's notice. Let's hold space for one another. Let's hold space for ourselves. Let's be patient. Let's know that some days we're going to get an A plus and some days we are going to fall flat on our face. And either way, tomorrow's a new day. How do you want to approach it differently? Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for doing your work. Thank you for just giving me a space where I can do mine. Namaste.